$1,636 and 95 cents. Let's multiply that 100 so it makes the percentage a little nicer, and that How's it going? It's Rocky. First of all, I do want to say thank you for those who have been following my journey and some new subscribers that we do have. The channel is now at 463 subscribers, which is quite something that I'm proud of, and we're hoping to hit that 500 mark before the end of 2021. Welcome to week 46 of our Don't Lose Money Challenge, where every Friday I release content on my experience trading the micro E-mini futures, specifically the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Unfortunately for this content, it's coming out a little late, and that's because I am traveling. So what we see here is our hourly chart from Sunday, November 14th to Saturday, November 20th. And as you can see here, we essentially just did 2.5 trades, and I'll go why I say there's a half trade there. On that first trade, it was a short position with 4 contracts, and I denote a short with a purple line in the end. And on this first trade here, we made $205.28 after commissions and fees. And then our second trade here was a long position, and I denote that with an orange line in the end. And we did trade 8 contracts, where I had to do a bit of an average down on this trade. And for that, we made $399.28. So we were actually on pace to end the week at least $600. But unfortunately, it does happen. I took a long position here on Friday, and I did decide to hold it overnight, over the weekend. So if you're interested how that turned out, please tune in next week on our next content. But essentially for this one trade, we did lose, and I put that in quotation mark because it's a mark-to-market loss of $319.36. So this analysis that we're doing here is contracts, 4 contracts that I shorted at 36,028. And the reason that I shorted this is if you looked at the MACD, we were below the 0 line, it was starting to diverge, and on the stochastic RSI, it was oversold. Unfortunately, I can't show you what I was seeing on the tick base side because the tick base is a lot of data and it can only show a maximum of 5 days. And I am recording this content a bit later than usual. So I guess what I'm trying to show here is that there's no such thing as a perfect entry or a perfect strategy, because I was sticking by my rules and it went against what I needed, I guess, for this. And I'm gonna draw the line actually to show you where 36,028 here is, so you can see essentially where we are with that entry. So as you can see here, it was actually, we were underwater for a bit, but for most of it, we were actually below that. So I had an opportunity to exit this trade. But as you know, I trade during the Globex market, and I usually just place an OCO and go to bed because I don't try to exit until the next day, or if it hit one of my levels on the OCO. And as you can see here, right at about midnight, which obviously I was asleep, it reversed, and I was pretty much underwater, so we were short here. And that's the reason why it's important to have your position size smaller. The risk is smaller and the gain is smaller, but it gives you an opportunity to correct something if it just didn't work out the way you were seeing it. So trading small gives me the opportunity to be able to either average up when I'm shorting or average down when I am long in a position. So you can see I shorted another 2 position here and another 2 right here, and eventually we were able to exit at 36,015 and was able to get out of that trade with a net profit after commissions and fees of $205.28. So here is our second trade where we did go long. As you can see, we did open 4 contracts to be long at an average of 35,907, and the reason we did that is because of this crossover here. So I was waiting for that reversal. Yes, we're below the 0 line, so I took a bit of a risk on this, and basically we went long because of the crossover, and on the stochastic RSI we were over on the overbought side, which is when I like to go long. and that's in congruence with the tick base chart. So this example, thankfully I have the tick base that I could show you, and you can see there the crossover occurred and we were on the overbought side. So it was a great entry based on the rules that I've given myself. But this is one of those weeks where things didn't really quite work out as well as should be. And again, this is the importance of basically having small position sizes, because you can essentially rescue yourself, because you have more cash to be able to correct a mistake. So that's just my philosophy of trading. Other folks will of course trade maximum 90-95% of their cash, or even with margin, and you just they go big or go home. For me, I'm a little more conservative in a sense, I guess, and that's been working out for me, and that's why we've had quite a success this past 3-4 months. And anyway, for this trade, it's this similar as my previous trade where I ended up having to rescue myself. And so what I did was I added 2 more contracts and another 2 there right at the bottom. So we got 8 contracts for this trade total. And finally, you look at that white line was my initial average, and because I averaged down, that went a bit lower. But anyway, we were able to exit finally at 35,933, and that trade gave us a net profit of $399.28 after commissions and fees. So I'm doing a bit of a bonus here when showing you a third trade that I called the half trade for the week. And essentially we went long on this position. So we started with 4 contracts at 35,666. And I will just draw that for you. So visually you can see where that existed, so when I was actually underwater. As you can tell, I was pretty much underwater from this Friday trade. I essentially, I was seeing it on the overbought side, on the stochastic RSI, on the MACD. The problem was it wasn't after a crossover, but anyway, it just didn't really work out for this trade. But because I knew that I had more money on my account, because I don't trade my full cash balance, I was able to average down a bit here again when I was seeing it trending back up. So added another 4 contracts, or a total of 8 contracts. But unfortunately, it didn't go above our average for the day. But from what I was seeing on the 1-hour chart, I was confident enough that I could basically keep this trade over the weekend. And again, no one really knows, right? That's a 50-50. But based on screen time experience, you'll be able to make that call yourself. But anyway, on this one, we did lose mark to market $319.36 for this trade. Account statement for week number 46, and I basically measure my success based off of my cash balance. So I do this more of a way to keep track and for transparency on how we are doing. So if you look at the description here, we did not deposit or withdraw any money this week. However, we did have 2 mark to markets. So we had one right there, mark to market loss of $80, and another mark to market gain of $24.50. And pardon me, it was actually 3 mark to market. The last one on that half a trade, as I called it, a mark to market loss of $302. So wanted to calculate that. Again, this is for the week from November 14th to November 20th. So we ended the week at $12,922.15, and we started with a cash balance of $12,636.95, and that gave us a total of $285.20. So it's not much, but it's consistency, and that's given us a great 3 to 4 months of positive profits. And if you were to calculate that on a 40-hour week, that would have been an hourly rate of $7.13. And basically on percentage, I like to really look at my progress every week based off of the percentage now. So with $285.20 divided by what we started with, $12,636.95. Let's multiply that 100, so it makes the percentage a little nicer, and that gave us a week of a profit percentage of 2.25%. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that content. Please do come back next week, because if you're curious about what happened to that mark to market loss of $302, we'll be able to talk about that on our content next week. Please do like and subscribe. Please help me reach that 500 subscribers by the end of 2021. I do appreciate your time, and if you didn't learn anything or didn't enjoy anything, give me another chance, and hopefully on the next one we can change your mind. All right, have a good one.